I really don't.
Go pick up my hat. You heard me.
Fuck your shit.
Touch me again.
White supremacy.
Touch me again.
Then why are we not fighting for our freedoms back? Are we just okay with losing our freedoms as white people?
A live streamer known for posting racist videos is in custody after he said he shot a man after a confrontation in front of a Tennessee courthouse. Hughley regularly posts videos of himself using racial slurs and getting into confrontations. He has gained over 200,000 followers on X.
Be a good boy. You heard me.
But they said that calling the cops on black people and hoping the police will shoot them is a new form of lynching.
It's not new. It's the same form of lynching. This is not new. It's retro.
It's retro.
It is. So to pretend like it isn't lets people who are now participating in this moment in history off the hook.
All right, y'all, there's another white man live streaming himself harassing black people, and he's getting rich off of it. This guy goes by Chud the Builder, and he built his entire following by walking up to black people, calling them slurs, calling them chimps, saying the N-word, harassing black homeless people, and filming their reaction. That was his content. That was his paycheck. And yes, he's in jail now, but here's the problem. He's already inspired several copycats who are going live right now doing the exact same thing. Now, people will say it's just trolling, and it's not that deep. But DL Hughley recently sat down and called this exactly what it is. He said these are the same old methods as in the lynching days. Back then, white folks would gather around, take pictures, and turn black suffering into postcards. Today, they hit start stream and let the donations roll in. And the most important part of what DL said is that somebody is clearly propping these influencers up. Somebody is paying for this. So let's break down who Chud the Builder is, what he did, and most importantly, who's funding the next one.
Hey, is that black guy bothering you? Is that bothering you? That's how you take it. That's how we want guys like that. That was a good. That was a good.
This guy's real name is Dalton Levi Etherly. He's 28 years old from Clarksville, Tennessee. And before he became a full-time professional racist, he worked in construction. Now, I want you to really understand what his content looked like, because it's not just edgy or politically incorrect. Chud's content is IRL streaming, and what he does is walk up to black people who are just minding their business and start calling them slurs. Saying the N-word with the hard R, or saying they're chimping out, that was his signature move.
Somebody get him a banana. He's chimping out. Come on over here and chimp out. He chimping out.
And then he'd also go and do a bunch of cringe stuff, like going to zoos and recording monkeys while calling them the N-word.
Here, Nick. What up, Nick? Maybe that'll get him to chimp out. Usually works with the other ones.
This dude would do all of this while openly carrying a blick. So an armed white man walks up to a black person, starts calling them racial slurs and comparing them to animals, and then waits. He's waiting for a reaction. Because the moment that a black person takes a step forward, now Chud is the victim, and he can claim self-defense. That was the trap. He knew what he was doing, and that's exactly what just happened. On May 9th, Chud was arrested in Nashville at a place called Bob's Steak and Chop House. He was live streaming the whole time, and the restaurant asked him to stop filming. And instead of just putting the phone down like a normal person, he became disruptive, started making racial statements, yelling, screaming, just causing a scene. And then he just walked out without paying. Shortly after, police found him and arrested him. He was charged with theft of services, disorderly conduct, and resisting arrest. However, he was quickly released on a $5,000 bail.
Hey, sir, you're under arrest.
What did I do? Okay. Can you lock it?
It was at a steakhouse where it included yelling racial comments at people inside of that restaurant. Dalton Etherly was live streaming Saturday night inside Bob's Steak and Shop. Police say when employees told him to stop streaming, he became loud and started making those racial comments.
Go pick up my hat. You heard me.
But here's what's really important about this steakhouse incident. Just 4 days after he was released, he hit a black man. On May 13th, Chud showed up at the Montgomery County Courthouse in Clarksville, Tennessee. Now, what's funny to me is that he was there for a child support hearing. So this dude, who spends all his time online calling black people all kinds of names, is a literal deadbeat dad. But here's where it gets dark. According to the arrest warrant, Chud got into a verbal argument with a black man outside the courthouse. And that black man happened to be a war veteran named Joshua Fox. Now, Chud's version of events is that Fox pointed and laughed at him, so he walked over to say something. Then Fox allegedly said he has PTSD, told Chud not to, quote, start that chimp mess, and then punched him. Chud told police that Fox started, quote, wailing on him, and that's when he shot him in self-defense.
I walked up to him because they were pointing at me. They were laughing, they were pointing at me, and I said, what's up, guys? How y'all doing? I said, y'all like the new suit? He said, walk away from me. I walked away from him. He came back up to me. He literally said, I have PTSD. I feel like I'm in. He said, you start saying all that chimp out shit to me, I'm going to hit you. He hit me, started wailing on me. Even after I had to defend myself by shit, he's still wailing on me.
But there's just one problem with Chud's, quote, self-defense story. The affidavit says that as soon as Chud walked away from Fox the first time, before Fox touched him, Chud reached into his pocket for his blick. So he didn't wait to be attacked. He escalated first. And when the physical fight actually happened, Chud didn't fire once. He emptied the magazine. Fox was hit 4 or 5 times. Sources differ on this, but either way, this man kept pulling the trigger. One witness said Fox was hit in the stomach. He actually had to be life-flighted to Vanderbilt University Medical Center for emergency surgery. But when cops searched Chud's car after the incident, they found body armor and a printed plane ticket to Istanbul, Turkey. The flight was scheduled for May 22nd, just 9 days after the incident. So it sounds like he planned the whole thing and was ready to flee the country. Because if this was really self-defense, why was he trying to run? Now let's talk about what happened when Chud actually had to face a judge. On May 15th, 2 days after the shooting, Chud appeared in court for his initial arraignment. And I need you to look at this photo. This man spent his whole life running his mouth about black people, and now he's in handcuffs, forced to listen to orders from 2 black police officers. And here's where it gets even worse for Chud. The judge set the bond at $1.25 million.
The bond at $1.25 million. Based upon the fact of how many people were in the courtyard, were here at the courthouse, and the seriousness of all these felonies, and his bond status.
Now the bond was so high, not because Chud shot somebody, it was because Chud was already out on bond from a November 2025 case. And Tennessee law is very clear about what happens when you commit a new crime while you're out on bond. They can double it. The judge also slapped Chud with some conditions if he somehow makes bond. GPS monitor, so they can track him, no weapons, no contact with Joshua Fox or his family, and his passport application will be blocked. And there's also a gag order, meaning Chud can't run his mouth about the case on social media. But here's the thing, even with all these conditions, even with the bond set at $1 million, Chud had someone willing to pay it. That's right, somebody out there is ready to write a check to put this man back on the street. And remember what we found in his car? Body armor and a plane ticket to Istanbul. Dude already had an escape route planned. And allegedly, there's someone rich and powerful backing him. And now we get to the part that DL Hughley was really trying to tell us about. Because here's the thing, Chud the Builder didn't come out of nowhere. This whole trend of white dudes live streaming and black people is big business. And let me tell you, there is a lot of riches in it. Chud was streaming on a platform which is a crypto-based streaming site that operates almost entirely outside traditional financial systems. On that platform, viewers don't just donate or subscribe, they buy streamer tokens, basically cryptocurrency tied directly to the creator. And every time someone trades that token, the streamer gets a cut. And when a streamer goes viral for doing something outrageous, that's when the trading volume explodes. And according to crypto analysts, this platform has paid out nearly $500,000 to streamers who figured out that the most profitable content is the most extreme content. Now, they banned live streams back in November 2024 because things got so out of hand. But then they brought them back because the money was too good to leave on the table. In fact, when the creator fee system was first introduced, their revenue increased from around $100 million to $500 million in daily trading volume. You see where this is going, right? The platform knew that streamers like Chud would generate massive engagement. And they built a financial model that directly pays creators for generating that type of content. But here's the part that DL Hughley wants you to understand. This is not new. This is the same playbook from the bygone era. The only thing that's changed is technology. You know those horrible postcards of black men suspended from trees? The ones that used to get passed around like souvenir photos? Those weren't just taken by random bystanders. They were professionally produced, sold in stores, and mailed mailed through the US Postal Service. People paid money to have images of black suffering delivered to their homes. DL Hughley said it plain. This is not new.
Black people wanted to vote. Mississippi burning is based on black people wanting to vote.
Right.
Somebody wanted them to do it. But who was complicit in those dudes?
The police?
Right. Emmett Till gets because a white woman called the police on him or said that he looked at her in a disrespectful way. Who looked the other way? So this is not new. It's retro.
It's retro.
It is. So to pretend like it isn't lets people who are now participating in this moment in history off the hook. And people will say, why are you going back in time? Why are you going back in time? Like you're celebrating a lie, but you want me to pretend like I don't know it. That's the thing.
As for Chud the Builder claiming that he should be free to say the N-word with no consequences, here's what DL had to say about that.
Listen, they invented a word just for us. It's funny how they try to ascribe it to hip-hop or to the language we use. It's been the American lexicon since the early 1700s. Hip-hop been around since 1975. Right. Like, what came first, or the Sugar Hill Gang?
Right.
But it's funny how they blame you for the shit they've said anyway.
Now, the good news is that Chud the Builder is in jail, and he's looking at some serious charges. But here's the bad news. While Chud's been locked up, there are a dozen other streamers already copying him. So who's platforming this? And more importantly, who's profiting from it? Well, just follow the money. According to reporting from The Bulwark, Chud was initially platformed by InfoWars. And who owns InfoWars? It's this guy, Jeff Lawson, a tech billionaire. And the machine doesn't stop there, because once Chud got the big platform bump, the clipping accounts took over. These are social media pages that take hours of streaming content and repackage the most shocking moments into short clips. And these clips spread like wildfire. This is how a nobody from Clarksville, Tennessee becomes an influencer overnight. And guess what? That same machine that propped up Chud is now trying to save him and turn him into a martyr for the right. And it's now being reported that an anonymous donor offered to pay his bond. And this is exactly what DL meant when he said this isn't new. It's retro. It's been happening for hundreds of years, and very little has changed in terms of real progress. But now I want to hear your thoughts on this whole Chud the Builder controversy. Who do you think is really behind this guy? Who's pushing this kind of content? To what end? Drop all your theories in the comments below, and stay tuned for the next video.